Hello, friends. It's Pastor Don. It's time for this week's episode of PD on Pop Culture. And today I'm not actually going to be talking about something that's in popular culture, but just something that's, I think, human experience. This past week, a very, well, a gentleman and a gentle man from the church passed away. In fact, his viewing is today, funeral is tomorrow. And at the same time, I've been getting news about my brother, who is 2 years younger than me, who is now going on hospice. He had a lung transplant. Things have not gone well, and it looks like they're not going to be able to get those lungs to work for him. So, anyway, obviously, what's going on here, or what's on my mind this week at least, is how we deal with grief, how we deal with loss. I've heard it said that there are as many different ways to grieve as there are people in the world. Nobody does it the same. There's no standard, and it's one of those, I have to say, it's one of those dirty little secrets of being a pastor, in that we think we're going to have or you think you're going to have the words. You might think as a lay person that their pastor's going to have the right words, but there aren't often words. It's difficult. There's nothing easy about dealing with loss of a loved one. It's funny because when I was 14 years old, in a span of 8 months, I lost all three of my remaining grandparents at that time. And I kind of developed a real aversion for the idea of funerals. I thought they were kind of morbid. Let's all go look at a dead body and then have lunch. But which makes it kind of funny that that's what I end up doing as a living. Is one of the major components of being a pastor is performing funerals. God has a sense of humor, right? But of course I've grown to understand that those memorials, those funerals, those times of visitation are really, well, first off, they're not for the person they're about the person who passed, but they're not for the person who passed. They're for all of us who are left behind, and they're for us to have an opportunity to process our grief and to say a last farewell, and to reconnect with distant family members, or whatever it is, and really to celebrate the life of the person who's passed. But it doesn't make it any easier, because there really aren't words, particularly when you look at a situation like my brother. He's, like I said, 2 years younger than me. I'm 57. He's 55. That's way too young. It's way too young. And there's no words for that. I want to be able to offer my dad words of comfort, and yet I don't know that there are any, and I don't know what to say. And it's just it's a tough week. It's been a tough week. So how do you deal? How do you deal with grief? How do you deal with loss? What helps you? I know that it's comforting for me personally to know that my faith tells me that the moment, not at some point in the future, but that the moment that a person's spirit leaves their earthly body, that they're in the hands of a loving and a forgiving God. Now that gives me comfort. That gives me hope. Where they go from there is not my decision to make. That's God's decision, right? We understand God to be sovereign. But I'm thankful that there's that opportunity, that chance, that moment of grace for every one of us, regardless of our faith situation, right? But I'm challenged this week. I'm challenged. It's this is the I thought I'd go to seminary and I would get all the answers for my distaste for funerals, and I really just got more questions and I didn't get any answers. So maybe you all have answers. Maybe you your experience can offer me some wisdom this week. How do you grieve? How do you deal with personal loss? I don't know. That's where I'm at this week, folks. Hope you're all doing well. Take care and God bless. Bye now.